Building the motor box. Let's go ahead and cut this open here. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on here. There should only be a few pieces. This piece here that doesn't have the holes drilled into it, this piece is actually a handheld part for the bottom of the center section of the wing. We'll talk about whether or not you want to install this or you don't have to. I did not install it on several of my wings, and I did on one. No real benefit to it, but it does help with your propeller if you indeed have like a prop strike or anything like that. But again, that's with the pusher prop version. On the EDF version, there's no propeller out on the back, so probably won't not be installing this. Okay, so this is your motor box. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. There we go. This is your motor box, and there are no real specific instructions on the motor box, so I'm gonna just pretty much tell you how it should be here. All we're doing is we're gluing. There are little bevels here. These are cut out, and then you're gonna line up the two that's on top right here with the two angles already cut out there, and then you're just gonna glue it just like that. And then all you're going to do is look down the center line and make sure that this is nice and square once you've glued it, and you're pretty much calling that good to go there. And for this portion, we are going to use regular super glue. Again, just make sure that it's nice and square. And once you have that glued on, we'll move on to the next step here. Here's a tip for you here. When I use super glue on this portion here, I would choose to not use super thin, because super thin glue is just going to run all over the place. I'm going to use a little bit of thicker. This is super thin actually, but I've had it for a while, so it's sitting, so it has thickened up. It kind of more like along the line of a thicker CA there. So what I will do here is pretty simple. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. This plywood box here will absorb some of the glue, and then next best friend is an item called Kicker. It's basically super glue accelerator. I'm going to line this up with this right here, and don't be afraid to get a little bit of accelerator on your finger. We all get that from time to time. Once I have this lined up and I think it looks about right, I'll go ahead and just put a little bit of Kicker on there. This right now, we only put glue on that little tab portion there, and the reason being is that's just so we can visually watch and make sure this is all lined up here. There we go, which it is. And then I'll go ahead and still hold it in place, and I'll go ahead and put a drop right there just to hold it. It didn't hold very well there, so we need to do that really quickly. Okay, once that is, let's see here. Okay, that held. Okay, the angle is good. Now what I'll do is I'll just go to the inside of the motor box, and I'll just run a line of super glue down that line and then let it sit. Now you could choose to either let it sit, or if you want to hurry, you get your Kicker here and just give it a nice spray right there. And keep this out of your eyes. Be careful, because the Kicker, once it hits the super glue, it definitely will have a fume, and sometimes it stings your eyes, so be careful there. And what you're doing now is you're going to do the same thing with the other side of the motor box, and we're going to call this motor box built.